Alright guys, we're going to look at this worksheet, and we are working on changing numbers from standard form into scientific notation, and then also changing scientific notation into standard form. So let's go ahead and look at what we have. Your assignment was the odds, so I'm going to look at the evens. So looking at number 2, the decimal, when we don't see the decimal, it's always at the end of the number. So our goal is that we have to move the decimal over to where we're going to end up with a number that is that is 1 or bigger and less than 10. So that means that that number has to be greater than or equal to 1, and it has to be less than 10. So when we do that on number 2, I move my decimal, and so that's going to leave me with 9.22. Now I've got to see how many places did I have to move it. So I moved it. So when I look at that and I count my spots, I have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means that I'm going to have times 10 to the 4th. Number 2 is a big number, so it's going to have a positive exponent. Number 4. So we see our decimal. We're going to have to move our decimal right here between that 4 and that 0 so that it is bigger than 1 and less than 10. So that leaves us with 4.03. Then we got to see how far did we have to move it. I had to move it 1, 2. Now, I had to move it 2 to the right. That is a small number, so the exponent is going to be negative. So 4.03 times 10 to the negative 2. Number 6, okay, 5.7, okay, not going to have to move the decimal. So our number is 5.7. I really don't want the decimal to move at all. I still need scientific notation. So to make it not move at all, it's going to be 10 to the 0 power, because that would make it 5.7 times 1, because anything to the 0 power is 1. Number 8, here's the decimal. We need to move it over here so that we have 8 as our coefficient. And then how many times did we have to move our decimal? We had to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had to move it 4. So we have 8 times 10 to the 4th. It's a big number, positive exponent. Number 10, we want to move the decimal all the way over here. That's going to make our coefficient 6.3. Now, how many times did I have to move it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had to move it 5 spots. That is, I moved it 5 spots to the right. It is a little number. That means negative exponent. Okay, second part. Now we're changing it to standard notation. Okay, switching gears here. So, I know that this 8.6 times 10 to the 6. So I have this 8.6, and I need to move the decimal 6 spots. Okay, so that means I have to move it 1. Okay, so that's 1 spot. Then I need to move it 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that is all of my spots that I had to move it. Okay, now all of those spots, we're going to move it, and we're going to have our decimal right there. Each of those spots, we have to fill it with something. We're going to fill it with zeros. Okay, so that means that our answer, we have 8, 6, and then we have 5 zeros. Okay, our commas coming back. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. So we have 8,600,000. Okay, now, while the swoops may help us with figuring out our answer, we want to write our answer without the swoops. Okay, number 14, 4.5 times 10 to the 0. Well, this is the same thing as multiplying it times 1. So that answer is just 4.5. Okay. Number 6. Okay. 1.85. Okay, I'm going to use this space to kind of think about it. I've got to move that decimal 6 times. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6. So that moved it 1, 2, and then I have 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to fill those spots with zeros. Okay, so our answer 1, 8, 5, and then 4 zeros. Okay, so our commas 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. So 1,850,000. Okay, again, we want to write our answer without the swoops, although they might be helpful figuring it out. It makes our answers really messy and hard to read with them. Okay, number 18. Okay, our exponent tells us we want to move that decimal 2 spaces. Okay, so when we do that, 4, 4, 8. Okay, and we don't need any zeros because 2 spaces and we're done. Nothing to fill spots with. Okay, number 20. Okay, 9 times 10 to the 6. So that decimal is right there after that 9. So there's no other numbers to move it around. So that's going to tell me that I need to have that 9 and then 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So commas 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay, and so that is all of that side.